Hello there. Welcome to Press X to continue. And this is our big switch to blowout episode, which happened later the day. I watched it at like 5 o'clock, patiently waited throughout the day, and thankfully didn't get spoiled because it was a busy work day. So there were some fun reveals for me, especially with the date of significance for me. Before we get that, how are you doing, Jason?
I'm fantastic, man.
I can't hear Jason. Oh, sorry. This is my fault. I turned off my. Sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Hey, I'm doing great. Really ready to talk about this, man.
Good.
Yep.
And that voice you just heard was Robby Burns.
Welcome. That's right. Equally excited to talk about it.
Yes.
I got to watch it live, so I've been sitting all day waiting for you to.
Some people have to work, you know. But yeah, I was very bummed I had to work today. But yeah, about an hour unveiling and a lot of stuff in that hour. They packed it full. First off, I just want to say I'm very excited about the June 5th release date. That is my birthday. And that is such a fun thing. New console launched my birthday, and I already took the day off work for my birthday just preemptively. And so there's a midnight launch at Best Buy, so I can go at midnight, not worry about work the next day.
What day of the week is that?
I think it's a Thursday. Let me
Thursday?
check here.
Well, that's phenomenal.
Because the Monday is I also have off after that for WWDC, which I also guessed accurately. It's a Thursday.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that. That'll be but anyways,
2 months.
2 months, yeah, we're coming. Then pre-orders next Wednesday, April 9th. And then if you fail to procure a pre-order, Nintendo is selling directly, and they're prioritizing people that have played like more than 50 hours on their account, have had long-lasting membership to online. So hopefully I get my Best Buy pre-order, but if not, May 9th, I believe, or 7th, those will start being available by invitation, which is cool. So, yeah. Any just date thoughts before we dive into pricing and other things?
No, I like the date. It's early in the summer. I think it'll be great. Teachers and kids out for the summer. It's a great launch window or launch time.
For sure. What about you, Robby? Anything there?
I will be off work because of the birth of our second child, so I will be around. My feelings about specifically the date itself relate to the rest of the conversation. Are we going to do at the end? What is your purchasing strategy? And
sure, yeah.
All okay.
We will do that.
All right.
Yes. But great. Yeah, pricing. I was wrong. I predicted $400, and $450 is what Jason I think was predicting is the base price, or $500 for the bundle with Mario Kart World, and that's a $30 savings. I'm already
struggling. I'm already struggling now.
$30 savings. It's only $50 if you get it that way, and hopefully they have plenty of those bundles at launch, and then. Games, they're jumping it up even from what PS5 and Xbox Series did. It's variable pricing. It seems that many games are 80, but then some games like Donkey Kong, as we'll talk about, is 70, and then third parties, I saw 60, and there's just variable pricing. But it seems like 70 and 80 is what Nintendo's doing mainly, which is expensive, but I wonder if PS6 will jump the price again to match what this is. I imagine they will. So this is kind of where it's headed. Yeah.
Wait, we're far past the opportunity for an opening statement, but I think I have one.
Please share. Sorry.
Today
I was just trying to give some basic info, and then
it's very brief. I think I'm a patient gamer now. Is my opening statement.
It is price advantageous to be patient.
I don't admitting, of course, that like the likelihood that a Mario Kart game is ever going to have a steep discount in the near future is low. But
the discount you get is the bundle. That's their discount. Yeah.
Okay. With pricing, The console, actually, it's funny that I am okay with the price of the console. That is a reasonable price.
It's Steam Deck comparable, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally good with that price. Where I'm really taking umbrage is the cost of these games.
Yep.
And as the physical collector that I am, I'm paying an extra tax that it's just insane. Other markets are having a $10 markup on physical games. I haven't seen a whole lot of confirmation on some of those prices in America, but
Yeah, I've not seen
some of the digital prices they listed for some of those games actually were already showing a cheaper price, just not the $90 physical price. So their games are, whew.
Yeah, when it's very understandable why that voucher system is going away for Switch 2 is because the games are almost the price of a single voucher. $20 away from that. And interestingly, pricing wise, they're being very aggressive in their home country of Japan, which has a tanking economy with the yen not performing at all well. So they're trying to make sure the system is actually feasible for people that live there. So it's $333 American if you convert that from yen, which, it's really actually good to see. And this is a Japanese only system. You can't log in with an American account. You can't use anything but Japanese language. So they're doing that to lock out people from trying to import those at the reduced cost. And I think that's kind of cool of them to, favor their home country like that pricing wise, and probably take a bath a little bit on the margins with that. But I think, they have the money to do that there.
Yeah. But again, that sidesteps. That is the console itself. I mean, the console itself is not what I have a problem on the price on. It's a one-time purchase, and I mean $450 for what it is, considering, we just spent $500 for a PS5 or $600 for your PS5 Pro, I mean, I'm okay with the price of the console. Notice how there aren't any discounts on games, and let's not even talk about the fact that their tech demo is a paid game.
That's
Have
wild.
you lost your mind, Nintendo?
Welcome Tour is paid. Even Sony included Astrobot, which was the demo of that system, for free. That it's bonkers, right?
Bonkers.
It looks cool, but it is bonkers. I wonder what that price will be. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like how I still don't own 1-2 Switch because that's the tech demo of the Switch, and it never really dropped in. I never could pick it up for like $15 on an eShop sale. It was always like 30 or 40 at minimum.
Yeah, because I forgot about that game actually. I remember ARMS as the game that was the tech demo, but I guess once we switched.
I love ARMS. ARMS is phenomenal.
I've had some good.
It's getting a free update, which I'm excited for.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say I want to deviate away from the bad to deviate into something that I was blown away by, and I feel is in the same vein as ARMS, and that's Dragon Drive.
That looks great. Yeah.
Oh my God. I was blown away, first of all, because they never talked about it, except for the fact that's what representation and inclusion looks like. They don't talk about that it was done for that, but it's a game about wheelchair race or wheelchair 3-on-3 basketball. How phenomenal. And the controls also. Only Nintendo, only the Switch 2 right now could make this game.
Yeah, like even in the mouses are more advanced than just a mouse like you'd have on a computer, because these you can lift off to do gyro things. Like a real mouse, you can't do that.
Oh, or spinning the spinning.
Yeah, right. That was cool.
I mean, like I was already looking forward to the mice and the mouse functionality, and now they're showing me, oh shit, because again, like you said, it doesn't have to be locked in as a mouse. You then pick it up, and now it's FPS mode, and it's just like, okay.
Civ 7, I think, will be tempting on Switch. I don't have it anymore.
I was gonna say I will probably buy it there now rather than on Steam.
Okay, but are you going to pay the markup to get the Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4? Because I have a funny feeling it's going to be worth it.
Well, I'm curious. Do we know for sure of the games? Because some of the games that are going to have a Switch 2 version are included in an online subscription. Do we know which ones? Like, has anybody seen its price?
Zelda's are.
Yeah,
we're not sure on that one yet, though. I don't think.
What about I really like Mario Party. And I think Mario Party Jamboree is great. And when they were doing all the showing off of the new stuff, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be the first time ever in the Switch's lifetime that I get more value out of a Mario Party game as it. And then they announced, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know that they announced it, but I was just looking online before we got on the call, and it's like $80 for the Switch 2 version of the game. I don't remember what I paid for it. Probably like $60, but like,
I want to know how much the upgrades are going to be, because
right? Is it $10, $20?
If it's the full price, why am I not just buying the game?
I would imagine it's the delta difference between the what you paid at full cost and what the new price is. So like if you paid 70 for Tears of the Kingdom and the new price is 80, I would imagine it'd be $10. That would be my guess.
And
But
I feel like that's a bit of a disservice to the already fans. Like some kind of discount. I mean, most of us have been loyal Nintendo fans.
I mean, sure, but Sony
This
does
is
this as
Nintendo.
well. I mean,
This is Nintendo.
Sony does this as well. It's $10 upgrade fees on their games if you want the PS5 version with the haptics and the The Last of Us 2 remastered or Days Gone remastered or whatever. So this is a thing that happens these days.
Well, I don't want to bring it. Yeah, don't want to keep bringing it back to the price, but I think part of the thing, my feelings about the price, is that I also only saw a very small handful of things that I would maybe want to immediately play, and they weren't necessarily the kinds of things I would typically spend that much on. Like, for example, like with these upgrades, like I feel like probably my Breath of the Wild days are mostly behind me. Like, I don't think that would be something I would spend a lot of time doing.
Right. Because I already beat those games and spent the 100 hours in each. Probably.
Yeah.
Mario Kart World looks. Oh my gosh, this thing looks great.
Okay, but here's the deal: we're coming off of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has been so many tracks and so many of everything. How many tracks am I starting with? That's going to matter. 24 racers. I'm looking forward to that. But it's give and take here, and at $80, especially with everything I'm getting with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you better bring something to the table.
It seems different enough to me.
It seems very different. The whole connected world where you can drive, it's like this open world kind of thing. It seems very different with that.
Pocket prediction. There's going to actually be flying, like back in the Diddy Kong racing days, where like there were parts where you could fly. Because notice, at no point that I noticed, I could be wrong, but you didn't see any parachutes for gliding. Anytime those vehicles were flying, they had wings.
Yeah.
I will all but guarantee they didn't want to go out and outright tell us, but there's going to be like flying portions or flying modes.
Sure. The cow being a playable character is just
very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, I mean, with 24 racers, they had to go a little deeper on their bench.
And the skateboard grinding on rails and
that seems cool.
Jumping.
Seems really cool. Wall jumping, great. Have you all played any of those Horizon games, like on Xbox or any? I don't know if they're only on Xbox.
No, I'm waiting for that to hit. That's coming to PlayStation in this month.
So I played whatever is the one from several years ago when I got an Xbox. Had a because I have like a 2-year Xbox Game Pass subscription that came with the box. So that was like one of the first things I did before I had a library. I really like the open world drive, the open world driving idea really works for me. Like I just had to me it's like the racing is sometimes a little stressful. I don't like find a whole lot of joy in like grinding the same courses, but the idea of just sort of like freely like hanging out in the really good looking world, like those are the kind of games that I enjoy the graphical improvements year over year. And I don't do a whole lot of those games, but I had a good time. Like I think like it seems like they've really, from the quick view we had, like really nailed that in the Mario Kart setting.
And I like the new mode that they talked about too, where you have the racers drop off, like the checkpoints, like almost like their own battle royale. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Mario Kart World.
And like the whole thing of like the balloon's gonna pick you up if you get off the track too far. That's just like a thing in the past with this one, it seems.
Is this the first time that Mario Kart has been available at launch?
I thought Mario Kart 8 was launched, was it not?
It was launched, but it was a remake of the Wii.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to diss it. It was a great game, but it wasn't an original.
I think so. And they learned, that works. Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I kind of think
some power ups looked pretty neat, and like you're like in that semi truck driving the semi truck or something weird. Like
They've got some tricks up their sleeve that they clearly haven't shown us yet.
Yeah, no, it looks phenomenal. And I wonder if they're going to do stuff with the open world and if there's discovery there and like that'd be interesting with that. That launches June 5th. I'm very excited for that. Good birthday game. And there's some wheels coming. I'm not sure if I'll get the wheels. They're $20 for the pair.
I probably will just because I collect.
You are a wheel guy too. You do love your wheels.
And I'm a collector. And actually, my wife just likes motion controls. So
sure.
So after Mario Kart, though, they jumped into
game chat.
Is
in Mario Kart.
This was my favorite part of the presentation. I thought all these like new social features were cool.
Okay, I'd love you to talk me up on it because I was really disappointed with what I saw. It looked rough.
You mean like graphically?
Yeah, like it looked like those screens were at like 5 frames per second.
I have a feeling that those like faces that appear on the screen are not going to really look good, but I guess we'll have to see some footage once people start using them.
Yeah, hopefully the audio will be good enough where you can have a good. I don't know. It seems like much better
my
than
living room TV
of using the iPhone app or whatever.
Yeah, my living room TV is also really far away from the couch, so I don't know how well that camera and microphone are going to I don't think really someone's going to be able to blend a smoothie in the background of my session. And I was a little too
no microphone in the Pro controller. There's not one in there, right?
Oh, maybe that's what. So okay, is the camera accessory only a camera and the microphone is all happening through the controller? Is that?
I didn't think so. I think it's in the system, right?
The microphone is in the system and the camera is only a camera.
So hopefully you don't have it tucked away in the entertainment center or behind your TV, right?
Okay,
that's another thing.
Yeah.
But this also works handheld. I'm surprised there's no front-facing camera on the Switch itself.
I was kind of surprised by that too. Yeah, it seemed like it would be pretty useful.
Let's be honest, because they put the headphone jack on the Pro controller. Obviously, everybody is gonna have a wired headphone with microphone right there. Okay, so that I'm actually not really too worried about. I'm just talking like the functionality, especially of like when they were screen sharing and video calling while playing. I just think they're reaching a little too far with what the Switch 2 is going to be capable of doing.
Nice how honest they were with that. It seemed like it was actual footage.
Actually, I'll give them credit. That seemed pretty honest because that looked rough enough. I wouldn't be showing that if that wasn't the God's honest truth.
For sure. Something really interesting. So there's like this local game sharing in some way.
That I thought was cool too. I mean, I can't think. There's been lots of times. One of my favorite things to do, and I'm gonna, because I'll be on leave, I'm gonna miss my school's annual trip to Hershey Park where we perform. But that 2-hour bus ride is a fun time to play some Nintendo with some of my students, and it would be kind of fun to like beam a Mario Kart session to several other people who are nearby.
Evidently, it uses the Wii U technology for video streaming, which I just find this is.
The Wii U wireless technology, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely insane that it was able to do what it did.
Yeah, and it looks like it'll work with Switch 1 stuff or some stuff.
Yeah, actually, because it did say there were some Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. It's going to be on a case-by-case independent basis what is going to support game sharing.
Now, I don't know if they said, but I assumed that the host needs to be a Switch 2 if other Switches.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I need to watch that part again about beaming the game and all that. That seemed wild, though.
And after we got to Game Share, they spent a little bit of time that they were going to spend talking actual hardware, which that's that's something I want to complain about. I'm a numbers guy. Come on, Nintendo, give me a fact sheet, give me something. I want a processor. I want some speed, megahertz.
They're not going to show that. It's like Apple.
I know. I need something though. And
actually, we have storage, 256 gigabytes. That's
pretty deep.
Well, they just say we have an M5. They don't say how much processor with the clock speed is and all that stuff.
Fair.
But
120
hertz is better than I thought it'd be, right?
Yeah, actually better than I expected. 120 hertz screen, so that's a nice screen, nice refresh rate on that.
HDR capable as well.
HDR 1080p. And how about in the dock? It will be doing 4K.
Yeah, and handheld they can go 120 as well, frames per second.
Yeah. I, I want to get this device. Those numbers alone, because there's some games we're going to talk about later, and the fact that we're going to be doing this in handheld, less yet in 4K, it really actually does have. I want to put some hands on this device because it seems like it has some power.
So Cyberpunk, they had to pull the PS4 version because they couldn't get it performant enough, but they're gonna have Cyberpunk on this thing looking pretty snazzy, I think. Which does that mean it's more powerful than the PS4, or is it better optimized? I don't know.
Okay, I'm getting old. Oh no, wait, yeah, you're right. That was the PS4, the base PS4 version. They had to pull of
Yeah,
that.
they had to pull it. It was hot garbage, and they couldn't fix it.
Yeah, but let's also be honest here. It's not just about optimization. Look at some of the games that are being ported, because while I am happy that some of these games are finally coming to Nintendo, looking at you, Elden Ring, right?
It looked better there than it did on the PS4, I think.
Really?
No,
I guess no. Those textures look really rough, my man. And Elden Ring was a good looking game. So it really, there are clearly some compromises, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because just playing half of these games in this portable form factor in and of itself will make a difference for me.
For sure. It makes them more accessible and you're actually able to finish games.
Yes.
For sure. Speaking of From Software.
Let's jump to that.
Oh my gosh. So I have the platinum trophy in every From Software game except for Dark Souls 3. The next FromSoft game I won't be able to get platinum trophy because it's going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. How bonkers is that? They pulled the Sony of doing a Bloodborne.
And it looks like a Bloodborne 2. Oh my god.
It's like Bloodborne 2 without being called Bloodborne 2. Like
very, very gothic horror and
vampires sucking blood out of people. Like,
yeah,
I'm so freaking excited.
I guess we're gonna have to see how good this multiplayer Elden Ring is in a month because it's like a multiplayer thing, right?
No, this one I think is a traditional.
Everything I read about it said it was an 8-player multiplayer kind of thing.
I haven't read anything about it yet. All I saw was the video, and it wasn't really mentioned. It clearly made it look multiplayer to me, but it didn't say that in the video. But the biggest thing is, wow, they haven't even the system hasn't launched yet, and we have our first 2026 title.
And it's and FromSoft is confident enough that they're going to make it exclusive.
The new title differs in that it is a player versus enemies format multiplayer game. From Software may be known for its single-player focused epics like Dark Souls, but well before Duskblood launches, we'll be getting.
It says PvPvE, so that's player versus environment. So clearly multiplayer.
It seems odd on a mobile system if it needs online. I don't know if that's just me.
It's just you.
Like, I know Splatoon's there and stuff, but it's like, no,
that's just you. I mean, they've figured that out a long time ago, and the Switch is already comfortably in that market.
And we'll see how this is.
To my knowledge, nothing has come out about it. Can you play it one player? But I think the focus of it is these like kind of bigger multiplayer matches.
We'll use the game chat in funny ways. Because they were doing things like in Mario Party, doing weird things with the game chat of like having your face over different parts of the.
See, I think that's fun.
I think it's fun
too. Here's the thing, though.
If they can actually have some fun with it in games, I totally agree.
Yeah, I would. It's the kind of thing where it's like I think if I had like a really because like everybody I know has a Switch. I don't think it'll be a while before everybody I know has a Switch too. And the fact, I mean, like I'm not surprised they don't put that camera in the box, but that's the kind of thing where I feel like the adoption of it would be really, really much wider if it was like came with it or was bundled with it or something. Because I don't expect that everybody I know who eventually buys the Switch 2 will buy the camera. And I would love to play some Mario Party Jamboree and see my friends' faces up on the screen.
Yeah.
I totally agree. A lot of accessories don't sell well, but the good news is at least it's going to be available at launch. I mean, there are quite a few accessories available at launch that are going to have people buying. I'm buying a GameCube controller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also wonder if just a standard USB-C camera that I have would work with the Switch. I think it
I was
might.
curious.
USB-C is a pretty open standard.
Open standard. I was thinking the same thing myself.
That's a
You
good
can
question.
plug the Switch and you can plug the Switch into a Thunderbolt dock to get Ethernet and all that kind of stuff.
Because I guess it's like the thing where it takes your background away. Is that happening on the Switch? Is it like a software thing, or is it?
Yeah,
okay.
it is. Yep, it's a part of the chipset they're using, I believe. From the
And I'd be really interested in seeing how that actually plays out. I've never been good about the audio isolating type of things. I've never really used them or found them. What little bits I've used, I haven't really been impressed. So maybe Nintendo will be the one to make me come around. Excuse me.
For sure. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, because I said the GameCube controller, let's talk about it.
So we didn't get Wind Waker HD. We have Wind Waker, the GameCube version, coming.
We did, and while that's all well and good, I'm sorry. 3 games for the launch of a new platform on NSO. That's chintzy, Nintendo. Come on.
They showed off a.
I've always felt like they're so slow getting stuff on there. Yeah, I have Sunshine Switch already through that 3D Mario All-Star thing from several years back. So, I mean, it's I don't know if I've told you that I've never played Wind Waker, so I might consider going at it in that way. But I'm trying to think what the
HD version is so much better, though. I mean,
what is that on?
Wii U, and there were actual quality of life improvements to the game, because I mean it was a very collectathon, just esoteric lost game. They did make it. There were quality of life improvements. It is the version to play.
Is that HD version on Switch?
No, we've been waiting for that Twilight Princess. The long wait.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I won't do it now. I was trying to remember because I know we must have it on Wii U because my wife played it like 6 or 7 years ago. Had a good old time.
It's phenomenal game. Something game key cards. I kind of love this. It's a terrible thing that this does need to exist, but we're in this age of there's this new system with Switch 2 of game key cards. So on the box art and whatever, they're gonna make it very clear if the physical game you're buying has the game locally on it, or if it's just a license key for you to download it from the internet. This is something both Xbox and PlayStation struggle with conveying. Is this on the disc or is this a download disc? Nintendo's like, no, we're not doing that shenanigans. You're going to tell the customer this is a download key card thing or it's on the cartridge. So I think that's pretty cool. And, Cyberpunk's a 64 gigabyte cartridge they're going to give you, which is awesome. So some companies are investing in big cartridges and others will make it clear on the box this is a download, which I think that's kind of cool.
I would like to point out CD Projekt Red always invested. The Witcher 3 was on the game card.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you think this will be the console I finally play The Witcher 3 on? I got it on the PlayStation Store when it was like $7 a few years back, and I just keep trying.
I've never played it. Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
I was very immersed in the voice acting and storytelling and really not immersed in the controls.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was real janky.
I didn't have issue with the controls. But anyway, so I got sidetracked there. Wind Waker, but we're also getting Soul Calibur 2, which, by the way, I mean, Soul Calibur is it really might be my favorite fighting game franchise.
It looks great. Yeah. And the cool thing about
up there for me
is we're starting to get to the era of games looking good enough to actually enjoy from the 3D era.
And we're getting to the point where the games can be reasonably upscaled to look better without taking a lot of work. Just throwing in some anti-aliasing, some better refresh rates, all of which can be done in post-processing, that it's no issue. Because, Soul Calibur 2 looked so much better than it did in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And F-Zero GX, but I'm not really a big F-Zero fan, so I know
Luigi's
there's people that are happy.
Coming.
Oh, yeah, I've never played one.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. It's not long, but it's a nice, which is great.
I know my son will want to do it. I mean, he goes nuts over. We're playing 3 together right now.
And Pokemon XD, what is that thing?
Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is an open world 3D Pokemon game in which your starter is Eevee. It it they did 2 different ones on GameCube, and we really don't know why it never took off.
Okay, they're good though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've never played those, so they'll be cool. I just want to talk a bit more about the game share thing. So this is you basically say me and my daughter, when she's of age, I can just like share my game and we're playing a multiplayer session with 2 Switches. That's how it goes? And
That's what it looks like to me.
I have no doubt in my mind that they will let you take your copy of Mario Kart World and stream it to your daughter so that the 2 of you are playing off 1 copy of the game.
And you can do it over the internet too, if you're on a Switch 2, it looks like. But
I'm not sure how much I would trust that, but okay.
Yeah, it says share the fun via game chat. Never mind, that's different.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, yeah.
But in person, yeah, you can share it with the base Nintendo Switch using that Wii U technology. And is it just one other Switch?
I think it said 1, yes.
Okay.
Am I mixing up the technologies? I thought it was up to 3. Are we talking about the same thing?
No, I think game chat is 3 more people, and then the game share thing is just 1 more Switch, kind of like the Wii U technology that was only.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. My understanding was up to 3.
Well, how about this? Here's what I know. When I was taking notes during the show, I did put hold on. Game share for local multiplayer works with actually no, I'm sorry. I wrote works with Switch 1, not 1 other Switch. So maybe it could be more than 1.
Maybe it could.
They just showed all of the other Switch Ones models on the screen at the same time. So maybe I just interpreted that as like, up to 3 Switch. But it was really just
I don't know. That'd be cool if it could do like a 4-player session.
In addition to other things we're having to pay for, can we talk about the fact that my SD card's not good enough for you, Switch 2?
I mean, I kind of get it. It's kind of like how Sony requires the faster storage versus using an external hard drive hooked up to it.
I get it.
So,
but
the games are it's all about read time, and so I'm glad they're using faster storage because it makes a huge difference in your overall experience, I think.
Yes. But I mean, we were already on cards, which are already a faster storage anyways. So, come on.
But not. Yeah, but
I know.
I will say I tried to find a 1 terabyte card. They're like sold out now everywhere. I gotta find a 1 terabyte card so I can migrate properly.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be expensive without that card. So we'll see if I get that. I might migrate and not have everything downloaded right away.
Let's see. At this point, I think we really just have a whole bunch of games we can talk about.
Final Fantasy, Jason.
Okay, I need you to understand. I have been a diehard Nintendo fan for a long time, and I'm one of the people who back in the day, I'm aware of the lore and the split between Nintendo and Square and why they went with Sony and everything like that. So for Final Fantasy VII, and this version, no less, it's this pretty version to be coming to a Nintendo system.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because I have Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition for the Switch 1 because that's the only way I can play Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch 1.
You can play Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch?
Yeah, it's called Pocket Edition. They replace all the characters with chibi art assets.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a digital only version of the game.
Huh.
And it sounded like their goal is to get the whole trilogy there.
Right? Well, I don't know. The stream was glitching out at that period of time. Like, I didn't even get to see them showing it. I heard the announcement, and then I had some slides of it.
Okay. Yeah, but it seems like they do. It was hinted heavily at that. Yeah.
As they should. I mean, if you can run 1 at this point, you should be able to run them all.
Well, I mean, Rebirth is a lot more complicated than Remake, I would say.
It is.
They all built similarly. They're all made kind of on the same technology, though, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, I think the same.
You need a PS5 Pro to have Rebirth look any decent.
Well, yeah.
It does run on the Steam Deck.
But that's where I was getting with the compromises and talking about textures and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. The Split Fiction is gonna be launch day title, which that seems like a perfect title for Switch.
Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD remaster.
I've never played that, but I've heard such great things.
I've got it up there somewhere. Like I got a special edition that came with like tarot cards and there are special QR code cards for the 3DS. It was a return to classic JRPGs before Final Fantasy started really trying to embrace it a little bit themselves. So so glad that's coming off 3DS and onto another system.
Star Wars Outlaws.
I knew you'd be excited. I made sure to put a note of that one for you.
Oh, here we go. Will I play just on PS5, which has the Pro enhancement, or will I end up getting it there on Switch too?
It is nice to have contemporary games. I mean, and I get that Star Wars Outlaws isn't like, quite as pushing it as other games do. And clearly, clearly also the Switch 2 version already had some compromise there, but it is still nice to even be a contender for contemporary games again.
Yeah, no, I'm imagining Call of Duty will be announced for Switch 2 when that gets announced. Microsoft was conspicuously absent. No Indiana Jones, no Forza, no
Civ 7.
That's Take-Two, right?
I could have sworn. Well, I get maybe they're the publishing arm, but I thought Civ 7 was a Microsoft game.
No, it's not. It's Take-Two's.
Oh, is it?
They did have Tony Hawk was the only thing from Activision.
Gotcha.
But I was expecting more from Microsoft, quite honestly. And maybe there will be a blowout at some point with more of their titles coming.
I mean, they did say they were going to support it, but and Borderlands 4. I mean, and already committing to day and date launch on Switch 2. That I think was a big one for me because that's a game that is not out yet, is going to be a contemporary title, and is coming out day and date. And heck, nobody even talked about Grand Theft Auto 6, which says they're coming out.
Oh, they do. That was hinted at, but I would love that on the Switch. I played the trilogy there, and it's great. Hitman World Assassination, along with 007, whenever that comes out.
Project 007, wasn't it?
Project 007. That's probably a working title. But yeah, those are big meaty. Or the Hitman's a big meaty game that just got the VR release on PS5. So probably.
Okay, but is that the same game? Just not in is World of Assassination a new game? A re-release of another game?
It's 1, 2, and 3 combined to this single release.
Got it. Okay.
So it's a massive, massive game at this point.
New amiibo for Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. I also saw some new Zelda ones coming out with the Japan release. I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4 new amiibo. I saw this image. I'm not sure how real it was or not, but they may be doing some new amiibo for Zelda too.
And Street Fighter was also going to have amiibo cards because those were successful with Animal Crossing, apparently.
That's really cool to see. And that confirms amiibo are not dead.
Yeah. I can't figure out how happy or sad I am about that. I mean,
look behind me. I'm very happy by that.
I know, but do I need more to collect?
They're done with the Smash ones, so
makes your life easier.
That's the only thing I really needed to collect them all for. Hollow Knight Silk Song is not dead. It's coming out this year, evidently. Do we trust
it gave it a 2025 date. The game that everybody has been talking about that, and we get nothing. Just it gets so many mentions on every other show. It's wild.
Have you all finished the original game?
No,
okay.
I'm not. I think I've touched
played
it, but
I've played a little bit of it. It's really good. I regret that I have not put a lot more time into it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I played it and dipped my toes in, but at the time it came out. What was the Dead Cells? Dead Cells was the one that caught me more than Hollow Knight did. They were both around the same period of time, and Dead Cells really sucked me in. So I guess I should give more time to Hollow Knight in preparation for Silk Song.
And then Fast Fusion is coming out. Is this from the makers of Fast Star MX that came out for the Switch 1 launch? It looks eerily similar.
I think so. I think this is their version of like an F-Zero style game, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I love Fast RMX. That was like a great launch title for Switch. It wasn't very expensive and like felt great to play. Like, yeah.
I wish I liked it, but a new Hyrule Warriors game.
Oh man, this one might actually perform well because every other Hyrule Warriors game in every system, the 3DS, the Wii U, the Switch, ran like crap. So hopefully,
Can you all, one of you remind me? I was trying to explain to my coworker who was looking over my shoulder. What genre of game? Like, what is the kind of game?
Muso?
That is?
Muso. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
Muso or
You're
Musou.
basically
Muso.
killing millions.
Yeah. Okay.
of
I played like
characters.
the only one of those I've ever played is I played a hot minute of like the Three Houses spinoff, Fire
Mhm.
Emblem.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of a low key like stand for these games.
They're very
Yeah.
enjoyable. They're
Except here's my
cathartic.
problem. I don't like the spin-off ones, the Fire Emblem one, and
There's like a
specifically
Persona one, I think.
specifically Fire Emblem and Hyrule Warriors. I have a couple of them. I've tried both of those spin-off versions, and I don't like the inclusion of the weapon pyramid mechanics from Fire Emblem into it. That's not how I play those games. And on the Zelda ones, I don't like the inclusion of the Zelda like swipes and everything. It's like
I love the music in the Zelda one. It just like kick butt. It's like kick butt Zelda music. It's like rock bands. Like,
oh yes,
yeah,
that I
it's so
would.
good.
It does have a hell of a soundtrack.
Yeah, it's bombastic. Just put it that way.
Yes. So, and I wish I liked them more, but I'm not gonna buy another Hyrule Warriors game to try it and be disappointed.
So it seems that Metroid Prime 4 is not a launch title and is probably a fall release. If I'd had to guess, right? Like September, maybe.
That
They
sounds
would have
fair.
put a date on it. They would have put a date on. They did
Forget
not.
about the date. They would have made sure to say launch day. Anything
They
that was
would've.
available launch day, they were making sure to say that.
And Donkey Kong got a release date July 17th, so that's gonna be like a nice month after. That's perfect.
I'm not gonna lie. That Donkey Kong game looks like for Donkey Kong what Mario 64 was for Mario. I really think
It kind of
that
does.
this is going to be Donkey Kong's glow up for the generation, so to speak. His improvement into the gaming space.
Yeah, and I love the 2D games. They're hard and frustrating at times, but rewarding, kind of like a FromSoft game. But this one, I think, will be more approachable for everybody. And the destruction of the world seems like it's going to be just very cathartic of just Donkey Kong destroying everything.
It does seem fun.
Yeah. So, and that's $10 less than the normal price of Switch games. That's still expensive, but good to see.
Again,
Yeah.
not to make it about the price, but have you ever played a Donkey Kong game that you think is worth $70?
I mean, Tropical Freeze was an experience, the best platform of all time, I would say, but probably not $70. Yeah, Tropical Freeze is the best platformer ever made.
Yeah, no. I'm actually not too fond of the 2D Donkey Kong games. They're just not that great to me.
Jason.
I like the first Super Nintendo one, and Tropical Freeze was quite fun. I don't think I finished it though.
I'll take a 3D Mario over a 2D Mario over a 2D Donkey Kong any day.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, are we surprised we didn't get a 3D Mario game?
Pretty surprised, yeah.
Well, that's why I'm horrible about studios. Is the 3D Donkey Kong studio the 3D Mario studio? Who's making it? Who's behind that?
They did not share at this time.
Nintendo's getting really keeping their hand close to their chest on these kind of things again. And
they always do that. Like a lot of times it's not until release where you see the end credits if you made this thing.
Only recently did they go back to that level of secrecy. We used to really know what studios, when a game was announced, we knew what studio was working on it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I haven't seen that info yet, but I would think the Mario team is separate if I had a hunch.
Well, I mean, Masahiro Sakurai is doing Kirby's Air Riders, and I mean,
about that.
He clearly just came off of Smash Brothers for the 47th time,
Yeah, so Air Riders, is that this year, did they say?
2025,
yeah.
2025.
And he's such a fan of Kirby. It's so good to see him just have some fun with Kirby again here.
But like, we're gonna have 2 racing games from
Evidently.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
and that's not counting. You know that Sonic racing game
That
is going
Sonic
to come
game.
out.
It's the year of racing.
Right.
Yeah.
Dragon Drive is not racing, but another vehicle type thing. The mouse support in Prime 4 seems intriguing. Do you think you'll play it that way?
Oh yes.
Yeah. And I wonder what the ergonomics will be like. If you're at the TV, you'll get like a little pad, like a wooden tray for you
I
to
think I'm
play,
going to
or-
get a lap desk. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I already, that's almost unquestionable at this point. The Layton game, is that a new title or something they already announced but now is also coming to Switch 2?
I don't know.
Because I enjoy Layton. Have either of you guys ever played a Layton game?
I have not. It's a gaping hole in my.
Robbie?
Yeah, I haven't either, but I'm intrigued.
Oh, they're cute, fun puzzle games with some really compelling, some good puzzles and compelling story. I've enjoyed them. So, and with this one, the fact of the matter is, I mean, they were great on the DS because you had the touch screen, and sometimes there were puzzles where you're having to look for things. So the fact that we're going back to we can use that mouse functionality, I really think that it'll be a return to form for the Layton games.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm just so intrigued by how that mouse will feel to use, and like, it could be great. I think it will be great, but I so rarely use mice when playing. I also will be. I think I do a lot of handheld play, so like that'll be interesting just to try to figure that out. 'Cause I like having having the system close to me as well, like for just seeing it nice and whatever.
I feel like they are really making games that are going with the features that they've put into this system now. I don't think it's going to be feasible to have games that can really do everything in one game.
Yeah, tabletop will be more encouraged for sure.
Especially with the 2 mice play. Just put that down, angle it back, and you got your mice right there.
Yeah, I'd imagine there'd be a mode like in ARMS where you just play it with the joysticks and stuff too.
Yeah. I'm going to call it right now. Somebody's going to release like a 99-cent Pong game where you're just using the paddles, sliding up and down.
Yeah.
Give me a dev kit. I'll make it. No.
Oh, man. Pricing of other things. Pro Controller is going to be $80, and the Joy-Con set is $90. I'm looking at pricing of a Switch Pro. What that is.
Switch Pro?
Switch Pro controller.
Oh.
So those are currently
60, right?
Are they 60?
Are they 70?
Joy-Cons are 70. I think the Pro controller is 60.
It's 70 for a Pro controller on Switch right now.
I don't think I paid that much.
Yeah,
I've had this thing. I have my launch controller.
I've got the Splatoon one. So it's $10 bump there and a $20 bump on the Joy-Cons.
My
50, which I think is actually not crazy, depending.
I don't know. Especially with the fact that we're kind of pretty sure or thinking it's probably just a basic USB-C camera and there's no microphone in it, and I don't know. 50 is.
Have you looked
generous.
at how much those cost recently? I think the one I have in front of me is like $100, and it's nothing too amazing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I stand corrected.
Yeah.
So,
let me see. But anyways,
I think we've covered most of it. I guess maybe overall, I'd love to hear Robbie's overall first.
Is this the same thing as what's your purchasing plan?
Oh yeah.
we need to do that
Because if so, I mean, I can wrap it up with my purchasing plan, and also like we did miss one game, but it relates to my purchasing plan.
Okay.
Because it's probably the game that's going to force me to buy this system sooner rather than later. Which is Pokemon.
Oh yes. Oh, and also we didn't touch on the fact that we're getting some free updates to ARMS, Captain Toad, Super Mario Odyssey, 3D World, Link's Awakening, which has terrible performance in Switch 1. Echoes of Wisdom also has bad performance. Scarlet and Violet. Those are all getting free updates, and hopefully the performance is fixed in those things, which currently is not great.
Any X Definitive Edition news? I'm sure you'd be
No,
curious about that.
nothing. I hope that gets a nice. It runs great for. It'd be nice to have 60 frames, and I wonder if there will be performance improvements just without any updates for games, or if they're locked in. That'll be curious.
Yeah,
to
maybe.
See.
I really hope it can get some improvements just as the hardware, just allowing it not, if nothing else, not being bottlenecked.
Yeah, like maybe the game like Pokemon Scarlet is like it could run at whatever frame rate if the hardware could do it, and maybe it'll
now
just
the hardware can.
Yeah, so hopefully that stuff will happen.
No, I forget. I thought that was one of the ones they said there was a Nintendo 2 edition of. Is that incorrect? Is it just?
I thought it was the Pokemon.
There are going to be updates.
ZA, I thought there was a Switch 2 edition.
Okay,
yes, that is accurate. And then Scarlet and Violet are getting free updates.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll be talking about the older Pokemon games. So yeah, go ahead, Robbie. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I'll just say, like, I don't know. Am I the only of the three of us who's not sure they're going to buy it on the first day?
I think
I'm gonna. I mean, I reserve the right to change my attitude. I mean, this is like pretty classic. I say I'm not going to buy it, and then I do, and I mean, I'm gonna like just kind of like watch. I'm gonna keep feeling out my feelings and watch things happen because like I'm just pricing out what I saw today that I want, and it's like probably about $700. So that's. But of course, like, do I need to buy the camera on day one? No one's gonna have that camera to play me with.
You could test your current USB-C cameras if you have any. Do you have any webcams?
I'm looking at you through a Logitech right now.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if that was like a built-in thing with your computer monitor or whatever.
No, I don't have one in my computer monitor. Yeah.
Okay.
I've thought about ditching it actually to save a USB port on my Mac.
Yeah. But stuff like that you could hold off on.
We'll have to see. I mean, if I were to buy, whatever I felt like, I mean, the bundle, obviously, the Pro controller is a given for me. It's probably an SD card. I mean, the GameCube controller, I don't know if that would be an immediate purchase for me, but I definitely would want one.
At some point, pick it up, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, did I miss any accessories that would...
Oh, it's interesting, too. There's only one color scheme. But you don't need extra Joy-Cons or anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Also,
probably...
old Switch accessories will be compatible overall. Like, old Joy-Cons can be used with the Switch 2 if you pair it wirelessly. You'll need to charge it elsewhere. The original Switch Pro controller, you can actually use that with the Switch 2. Oh, it's got back paddles, the new Switch 2 Pro controller, which is awesome. You can assign
programmable back paddle.
Programmable. It's kind of like the DualSense Edge. So,
did they say other than a headphone jack, did they say they have improved it in any other way? Does it have any kind of like
back paddles and C button?
Because the triggers are noticeably lacking compared to like other controllers of other systems I have in my lineup. But you know what? If that's really the only difference, maybe I would just hang on to my Pro controller for a while.
You could just do that for a bit. The AC adapter, you need a different one for the Switch 2 as different power requirements for the TV.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think like if Pokemon, Pokemon is the kind of game where I know people, y'all included, who I would probably want to trade stuff with in its early days. And I don't know if I want to like buy a Switch 1 version and then have to pay extra to upgrade it to a Switch 2. So that might be what eventually forces my hand. But
okay.
But is it a day one thing for me? Unknown.
I also think though you're going to end up doing that either way. I think you're going to. I don't think they will release a Switch 2 version of Pokemon ZA. I think Pokemon ZA is going to be a category of game that releases with a Switch 1 version and a Switch 2 paid upgrade, but no native Switch 2 version.
Oh, huh.
There's an implication that there's going to be that you'll have Switch 2 games, Switch 1 games, and then Switch 1 games with a paid some form of upgrade for Switch 2 enhancement.
Yeah.
I think that Pokemon ZA is going to be in that last category.
ZA is a part of the category of upgrade packs, and it improves the frame rate and
Which goes back to, I'm pretty sure I called it last show, and I said that we would not get Switch 2 versions of ZA or Metroid. And I'm guessing even at this point, they're making it seem like Metroid Prime 4. I don't know if there will be a Switch 2 SKU or just a Switch SKU with a paid
They
upgrade.
also said you could buy them physically, right? These things? These
I don't know.
updated versions?
I don't know.
So I think they'll sell a cart with the updated versions
Oh,
for that.
and don't forget, carts are red now. Carts are red now.
Oh, yeah. They same size, though, right? You could put a Switch 2 cart in a Switch 1 and see what happens.
Yeah, I hope they updated the flavor.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to start with you, Robby, but the biggest decision I'm having to make is, can I swing getting 2 at launch? Because there are 3 Switches in my house right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I really need to know if and my younger daughter, who still lives at home, her birthday is in August, 2 months later. So maybe I get it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. That's where my decision is. Am I going to be able to swing 2 at launch?
Yeah, that's wow. I'm just thinking about the 1.
Yeah,
I still have to get the approval, but I think I'll be able to swing it, get that approval.
But the question is, how many games am I buying at launch with the price of these games?
I'm just getting the bundle at launch, and then right.
That's the thing. When I got the first Switch, Breath of the Wild launch.
Yeah,
did that launch?
That's all we need.
I bought a cartridge. And that was a pretty meaty and substantial game that occupied quite a lot of my time. I'm just trying to think to myself, what would I buy with this thing at launch that I saw today that I would?
What I'm probably going to buy at launch is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrated Edition for the Switch 2. I might buy Nobunaga's Ambition and possibly Rune Factory. Are the launch? Oh, and if Bravely Default is available at launch, those are my launch games.
Cyberpunk's a big meaty game.
I'm not really interested. I like CD Projekt Red, but Cyberpunk just isn't my scene.
It's not mine either, but I heard. But part of my reservation is just the launch, and I know it's improved a lot since then.
And no, I agree. I want the GameCube controller. I'm not sure if I have to get it at launch, but I'm questioning what its availability will be after launch. So that's the only reason I really.
How was the Nintendo NES and SNES controllers? Did those sell out pretty quickly?
Oh, they were really hard to find. Wait, are we talking about those were so hard to find for a while. I remember rushing to my computer when Wario 64's Twitter account would say they were on sale.
N64 was impossible for a while.
Yeah. So and again, I'm worried that the GameCube controller, which when you were talking about triggers, let's hope they really brought back. I mean,
analog.
And thank you. The analog triggers, they felt good and meaty, and I mean they were really great. Good. So that's the other reason I think I kind of would love to get one of those. Is the GameCube is just a comfortable controller.
It's very good. It's very good. Do you all have the Sega Genesis controller? Because I have that one too. I love that one. That's
3-button or 6-button
for the Switch.
The Switch one is it's 3. Yeah.
Actually, I want to say I don't remember Europe or Japan.
Different regions got different versions of it, I believe.
Yeah, the 6-button Sega Genesis controller is one of my favorite controllers. If I could find a way to add analog sticks to that and maybe shoulders, I love those 6-button layout. I love the Sega Genesis. The 6-button controller was so great for fighters back in the day. Sorry, tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna need to get a new case for the Switch because it's bigger. Which
it's good. Yeah, I would need that too. Thanks for reminding me to put that on my list.
Yes. Waterfield
What is that, like $70?
Depends what you could get a cheap one depending what you want to go with.
Overall, look, I was impressed. I'm not going to lie. I was upset. I was legitimately upset that they didn't discuss the price on the show because took time out of my day to watch your show, and they put the price on their website after the fact, making it seem like they weren't ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
They made some weird decisions on some of what they chose to just put on a website versus talk about on the spot. But as a whole, hey, I'm here, and like I said, my only decision is can I swing too?
Yeah, I think they didn't include it on the video because I think up until the last minute they weren't sure what it was actually going to set at. Like I think they were going back and forth between 400 and 450. I think for a while. So I think they had this video ready and they're like, let's not include the price because we're not ready for that yet.
And I also, I want to know how long before I can find out about what hardware is inside of it. But I'm just that kind of tech nerd. I want to know that information.
And there's a whole game compatibility list. Evidently, Alien Isolation, they need to do some updates to have that fully work, which is interesting.
Didn't they need to have some updates to make that game work at all? Isn't Alien Isolation the one that they had a single line of code wrong that made the aliens docile and not aggressive towards players?
I had not heard that. That'd be a fun experience.
Yeah, they had to change the line of code.
But the Switch version is the best performant version above that of PS4 even. There's some magic to that game, yeah. The best looking game of Alien Isolation runs on Switch, which is weird, but accurate. So hopefully that can be updated for Switch too. But yeah, I'm hopefully getting this at launch, at a midnight launch. Do you live next to a Best Buy, Jason?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. How close? How long of a drive is that for you? Are you going to go to a midnight launch?
4 minutes.
Oh, you weren't joking.
Yeah,
I'm like a half hour away from my stores.
Okay. There's a Best Buy in my
15 for me about, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is one you've done other midnight launches at?
Actually, I usually did my midnight launches at GameStop, which is about a quarter mile up the road from Best Buy. So maybe I'll be at both that night. We'll see.
Right. How hard do you think these things will get snapped up, or will this be a more sensible pre-order process?
The fact that Nintendo is giving a week lead and it's a 2-month lead for the console, and Nintendo is so committed to not having shortages, supposedly by the rumor chain, and everything. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be a major issue. I think this might be their smoothest launch in a long time.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll see if I need to rely on ordering direct from Nintendo, which on their website they said they can't guarantee release date delivery, which is like, come on, guys. Come on. You gotta guarantee release date delivery like Sony does. But yeah, I'm gonna be aiming for that bundle, and I don't think I'll get anything else with it. I don't think I'll get a Pro Controller at launch because I do so little on TV play. Like, it's such a rare treat when I get to do that. And then, I'll be getting Metroid when that comes out, and so I'll still be getting games. But I might still be playing Xenoblade X, which I'm 45 hours into, so I might still be hour 200 and still playing that when June comes around.
I think pretty high on my list pretty soon is to play through those games. By the way,
they're good. They're good and addictive.
They'll probably look even better on that HDR Switch 2 screen.
Bigger screen, bigger text and stuff. Yeah, I have the OLED. That'll be interesting to see how much worse that screen is versus the bigger LCD, which I'm guessing it's similar to the Portal, which is HDR and looks phenomenal. So I'm curious.
I thought the Portal was OLED.
It's not. I think it's a damn good looking LCD.
I feel like I say this every time too.
Yeah, no, it's a good looking LCD. It's HDR and all that stuff.
My Vita is OLED though. I have an OLED Vita.
Yes, which, it looks great, but OLEDs have come a long way since the Vita OLED was out. And I'm excited for Dragon Drive. Do we think that's like a $40 title or something?
whatever it is, I kind of think I want to buy it. And
Yeah.
I don't like. I didn't enjoy Rocket League. I'm probably not going to even really enjoy Dragon Drive all that much. But I am telling you,
It just looks wild.
I am so blown away by the casual inclusion and representation of that game. I have no choice but to support it for me personal, for my, I love that because inclusion where you're not highlighting it for the sake of inclusion, that's what inclusion is really about. And that's exactly, that game was, I cannot freaking wait.
Was anyone surprised they didn't preview that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 would be on the GameCube Virtual Console thing? Because there's currently no way to legally play those other two games leading up to 4.
Wasn't there a Metroid Prime trilogy for Switch?
On Wii.
For Switch that was rumored for so long?
Yeah, it never happened though. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's going to be just in time for a Switch 2 upgrade version.
I know, right? Oh man, they're running out of time to get 2 and 3 out ahead of 4, which is disappointing me because I've never played 2 and 3. I have the trilogy on Wii. I could try to get around to playing those, but anyways, yeah, I was very satisfied. Pricing is more than I thought it would be, but not
Called it.
Yeah,
Called it.
not crazily so. I'm surprised the bundle is just the game; nothing else is different. Which is probably a good thing that they didn't like Wii U-ify it with like less storage on the. Yeah.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd still gladly pay for a pro version that comes with, say, half a terabyte. 512 gigs. And I'm going to be really upset because I'm sure that next year or the year after, there's going to be a beautiful Pokemon edition one that I'm going to want to buy, and that's going to be the third one I'm going to have to buy. And I just
sure
because I have
just get the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons you sometimes release separately.
Sometimes,
yeah. I've got my Zelda Joy-Cons on my Switch.
Oh yes, I need some of those still.
Yeah, but yeah, Dustblood's Wild. We're getting a FromSoft exclusive title, but yeah, I was very, very. I was flipping out with the release day of my birthday. It's like, hell yeah, it's so cool.
See, my birthday's at the end of June, so it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I share mine with the iPhone, so
I share mine with the announcement date of Vision OS, so that's pretty cool. It's very geeky, but very cool. Yeah, and I wonder if we get Kirby Air Rider on the GameCube Virtual Console before that comes out.
I doubt it.
Yeah, they probably just want you to get the sequel instead.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anything else worth mentioning?
Not for me.
Okay, you good, Robby?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you all for taking the time tonight to dive into this. This was fun. I like to decompress through podcasting. Anything you want to plug, Jason?
Maybe a GoFundMe for all the money I'm going to be spending. I don't know. No, I'm good.
And is it accurate to think that we're all not trading in our Switch ones because it's a different console and we keep our old consoles?
No, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, you guys know I have a collecting and hoarding problem. Of course, I'm not trading mine in.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it either. Yeah. Anything worth plugging, Robby, you want to mention?
Nah.
Okay. Cool. We had some good podcast episodes dropped recently, so just want to.
Me?
Music Ed Tech Talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yes, my podcast. Yeah. Let's see who's been on recently. Jay was on recently to talk about the apps on our home screen.
Yeah.
If you want to hear me talk about that?
It's pretty. Yeah, I love that stuff. So, and then you can follow me on Mastodon at tchat@mastodon.world and listen to iPad Pros and Vision Pros for those shows. And we'll be back next time for hopefully by next time we record, some of us have pre-orders in place.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have pre-order experiences for some of us by next time.
Yes.
And we'll see how Best Buy goes. Hopefully that works out. If not, I may have to run to a GameStop or something and do it dirty there.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.